Good morning. This is Jose Mercado here, aka JoJo. Some of you know me now as JoJo Fit, and I just wanted to share my story with you. How I was able to change the quality of my life with one decision, or a series of decisions that I made over time. So a little background about me. I went to school for automotive engineering, and I became a Audi technician, and had a good life. Was on my way to a six-figure income. I was a master technician on paper, but I had no experience. That's huge. That was a valuable lesson that I learned when I got into the dealership, because nobody wanted to help me, because on paper I was a master technician. So it was just like, all right, bro, you should know what to do. You know it all. But again, I had no experience. And experience is a huge teacher. It allows you to get experience and learn at the same time. So it totally increases your learning curve. But anyway, I was doing that for a while, about 5 years or so, 6 years. And I have a background in gymnastics and breakdancing. I was a competitive breakdancer for a while, and just loved to tumble, be upside down, do all that crazy stuff. So I'd be flipping at work and stuff, and doing push-ups and handstand push-ups, press handstands, all kinds of craziness. And people at my job would always say, hey man, what are you doing? You could take this talent and do something else. But at the time, I was young, about 19, 20 years old. I had a girlfriend that I was very much in love with, and I was making a lot of money. So to me, I was sort of doing what I was supposed to do, living the American dream. And then, in a series of conversations with my boss and shop foremans and stuff like that, they started to talk to me about the quality of life and what type of life did I want to live, and if I wanted to have a family and stuff like that. And of course I wanted to have a family. I wanted to do that when I was young. And they pointed out to me that once I entered into this 9-to-5 lifestyle, which is nothing wrong with that, I'm not against it, but once I entered into this lifestyle, my life would become routine. I'd be on the work, eat, sleep, repeat plan. Now, notice I said work, eat, sleep, which means that most people are skipping breakfast. You're getting up in the morning, you're rushing to get out for work. You don't feel like going to work, and you can't be late, right? You got to be on time. Your life is very, very scheduled. And for some people, it's great. If you're making a lot of money, you're doing what you're supposed to do. You don't know any other way. That's the way we were taught. So anyway, I wanted a change. I realized at that point that I did not want that to be my lifestyle. I always dreamed of possibly being a stay-at-home dad. When people asked me about that, I said, hey, if I had a wife that was making millions or something like that, yeah, of course I would stay home. And that's what I thought. I had to either marry somebody rich or create a ton of money before I had children. But you all know in corporate America, or any business, starting your own business, that takes a little bit of time. And in the midst of that time going by, life happens. And so you may not get that opportunity, but that's what I wanted. That would have been my perfect life scenario. So I started to get this idea in my mind. And everything starts out with an idea, folks. You really have to count your thoughts as things. Your thoughts are very powerful. What you think about yourself, what you believe will happen for yourself, and what you want will happen in your life. It will manifest. And so now, because I had these thoughts in my mind that this is not the way, I started to lose interest in work. I didn't know how I was going to make a way for a family or be financially free. And really that wasn't important. The how wasn't important, but my why was really big at that time, you know. Unfortunate turn of events happened, which now I look back at it, I could say it was very fortunate. I started having trouble in my relationship, and I just went into, we broke up ultimately, and I went into a deep, depressed state. And I'm not that type of person. Like, I'm always spunky, ready to go, having a good time. You know, the cup is half full type of guy. But this just really slammed me amongst other things that I wanted to do that I saw were dwindling, you know, between my fingertips. And life just started to crumble down. So ultimately, I ended up losing my job. I just couldn't focus. Again, I said I was deeply depressed. I would try to do things, you know, push-ups, working out. At one point, I was up to like 1,000 push-ups a day just trying to relieve the tension, which was kind of cool because I was Rip City, like super in shape, but whatever. So ultimately, I lost that job, which totally was a blessing. It was a blessing in disguise because now it sort of forced the hand that brought me to where I'm at right now. It allowed me to meet my beautiful wife that I have right now, and you know, we created a beautiful family, and I'm very, very blessed, you know, and that all stemmed from this change. Now, after that, you know, I started to make some decisions to do what I love to do because that's all I knew at that point. And I started performing and breakdancing again a little bit more, doing some acrobats. I got hooked up with a couple entertainment companies, landed a job with the NBA. I got to travel around the world in Europe, doing tours and halftime shows, different promotional events and stuff like that. Just had the time of my life. And at the time, you know, I didn't really know where I was going, but I was thankful for the change in the new lifestyle, and my quality of life changed. I was able to get up when I wanted, go to the gym and train, hang out with my friends. My best friend owned a gym. I started working there, became the head tumbling instructor and creative director. You know, I helped a ton of kids in their life, allow them to see their vision, allow them to speak vision into their lives, which was huge, you know. And by this point, I realized that, you know, your thoughts are things, and you can change your life just by the way you think. And that's what I was doing for these kids. I would literally will them to make them believe, you know, I would believe in them enough that they would believe in themselves, that they can do these crazy stunts and tricks. And, you know, I was just able to instill the fact that their desire for their goal would allow them to overcome their fears. That applies in anybody's life. If your desire is strong enough, it doesn't matter if you're afraid, if you've never done something before, if you don't have the experience or the technical know-how, the universe will shift for you and it will make things happen for you. With that being said, the universe shifted for me because subconsciously I still wanted to be a stay-at-home dad. Now I had an outlet or a resource where I was able to do that, but it wasn't enough. You know, so I started getting other jobs, doing other things. Some of my friends was like, yo, man, you be a killer Zumba instructor and you could really blow that up. So, okay, I need some extra cash. I had, you know, freedom of time to do as I pleased. And so I went that route. And like they said, quickly it blew up for me. Quickly, like in an instant. I didn't even think, it wasn't on my radar screen that I would be, you know, as good as I was. Not to toot my own horn, but I created a following pretty quickly. Problem with that was I started getting high up in the numbers. You know, I'd go and lead groups of 100, 200, 300, you know, and my pay stayed the same. I'm like, man, I'm bringing all this business into the gym. They're telling me that they're going to give me commissions, but they're telling me that I need to have these people come with my guest pass, signed by me, and they would be a guest of myself or coming for my class. Now, most times people forget their pass, or it's word of mouth. They hear from friends and they come in and they don't have this pass, so I'm not getting paid. And everybody else was benefiting off of my efforts. And a lot of my students would come and ask me to do other things in venues, and then, subject of pay would come up. And it was crazy because I'm seeing 300 people a week. It was 200 people plus on a Sunday morning. And, my family, they're like, I'm not too sure about this Sunday thing because, we believe in the Lord and we go to church and stuff. So I stopped church and sort of sacrifice for the money, and that was another lesson that I learned. You don't have to chase money. Money can chase you with the right attitude. Again, your thoughts are things, and it's all in how you believe, your life can be, or how you believe it will be, and that will spark a change, spark something in your mind. It makes you take action to learn something new. You learn something else and you get another one of those crinkles in your brain, and you're growing. And at that point, you're a different person now. You have just changed yourself by just stepping into an uncomfortable zone and creating a new experience. So anyway, I'm like, how can I capitalize off of all of these people that I'm seeing? And mind you, I didn't have a background in marketing or advertising or anything. This is a whole new realm for me. People are saying, well, hey, you could do events and do some private things and, do personal train. And, I've done that before with training and scheduling people. And sometimes that could be tough. People cancel. Weather happens, and then you're unable to make money, and I couldn't really provide for a family when my income was so erratic all the time because of these issues. So I didn't want to go into that type of field again, and I just needed another way. That brought me to Empower Network. I was watching a good friend of mine now. He's now my mentor. And he's seen a little what was going on and what I was into. And he spoke vision into my life, literally, that was in line with the vision that I already had. That moved me because it was someone else who saw my talent, saw what I had, and gave me a different option, and not necessarily tell me how or what to do, but just gave me a different vision for how I can achieve my goals. So I watched him for a while, and then I seen what was going on, sort of sitting on the sidelines, and then it hit me that I could leverage social media and technology to create my following all over again, or recreate it, or grab my target market, grab individuals who just wanted what I had. So I signed up. It was only $25. It's the best $25 I ever spent in my life because the information that I learned at that point was invaluable. It still is, it's so much value that you get for the $25. So anyway, I took this information and, I would go to class and see what's going on. And I'm like, all right, how could I do this? So I started with a website. I made myself a little website, and I created a little bit of buzz, of something that I would do that was new, visit my website, stay up to date on the new songs, different routines coming, and what have you. And from there, I was able to do a really powerful thing. I was able to create a lead list of people that I knew wanted what I had because they would come into my class. So didn't make them, but I offered them a subscription, to just join now. And I was able to get their email addresses. And from that point, now I had clients that I could market to and share my idea and what I wanted to do. And then I tagged myself JoJo Fit, and that doesn't mean just fitness. I speak to them about vision, about their lifestyle, the quality of life, fitness, health, wellness, everything that can allow you to lead the life that you see for yourself, the life that you deserve, the life that is supposed to be for us here on earth, an abundant life. So once I got these emails and I started to offer them my service, a lot of things just started to snowball because now my thoughts changed. I had new experiences, and now I had a way where I could get out to my clients or direct traffic to where I wanted them to be. And from there, I was able to go out and start my own classes. I opened up my own studio, and connections just started to come into play for me. Everything started to change. And then I realized that, hey, I could really take this to the next level if I help others do what I'm doing right now in their businesses, in their lives, and just let them know, like, hey, this is possible for you. Again, I'm definitely not a big internet, social media guru person or anything like that. It was very simple for me to put these things together. Most of the tools that I used were free. Again, the only thing I paid for was my $25 viral blogging platform. And that was just huge in promoting myself and my brand, helping to create a brand and step into my power and move into the person and the lifestyle that I wanted to have, that I envisioned for myself and my family. So I'm not going to say that I'm where I want to be yet, but I've left where I was, and I'm on the right path to reaching my goals. And it's just been a great ride, and I've learned a lot in this short amount of time through Empower Network. So I just say to you, I'm going to keep it short and wrap it up. If you want to change your quality of life, it's only one decision away. You can change your thought process, have a new idea, and take that idea and make it your reality. Very simply. A lot of people think that it takes so much knowledge and education and all this stuff, which it does. But at the same time, again, back to having the experience, if you have a bunch of knowledge and education and you have no experience, people sometimes don't want to hire you, or they want to hire you for a value that they think you're worth. But what if you think you're worth way more than that? Who are they to tell you that you're worth $30 an hour, $40 an hour, $50, $60 an hour? Like, who are you, right? A boss, someone else who's climbed up the chain in the 9-to-5 world, in the business world, and, they're telling you what you're worth. That doesn't have to be your life. You can dictate what you're worth just by believing that you're worth more than what they tell you. Don't be brainwashed. There are other ways to make a substantial living. And let me just give a disclaimer right now. All income earnings are not typical in Empower Network, but if you're willing and you're open-minded to learn something new, try something new, this could happen for you too, as it did for me overnight. I just say click the button below, get the $25 product, change your life today. I can't express enough how this helped me and how grateful I am and thankful I am that, you know, I found this program. I get to spend every day with my family and enjoy my kids, watch them grow, see every moment through their lives, and I get to teach them something different. I get to get out of a 9-to-5 mentality and teach them how to do what they love what they do, and continue to thrive and be able to make money and not struggle, in this system, because that's what I call it. It's a system, our government. But that's a whole another story, another topic. But that's all I got for you today. I'll be back again. I want to share my success with you all, so that you could see that this can easily happen for you. Again, click the button below. Join my team now. Mastermind with me. Get connected with next level masterminds. And yeah, I'll see you in the beaches of the world. Have a good time. Live where you want. Do what you want when you want. Be your own boss. Fire your boss right now. All right. With that said, adios.